Hello there to you on Instagram, my lovelies on Instagram, and hello to you, my gorgeous peeps on Facebook. It is great to see you here. I'm Donna Hoffman. They call me the interior design advocate because I advocate on behalf of design lovers, professional design lovers, as well as DIY design lovers everywhere to help you up your game in design. There is a gnat that just flew into my field of vision. Oh, what a way to start some live video. Anyway, we'd love to be here with you. I run a luxury design company in the Philadelphia region of the United States. And when I'm not doing that, we love to stop what we're doing here in our design studio and come out here and talk to you about something that we know is on your mind, that we get questions about, we get DMs about, and that we see our students asking a lot of questions about, because I've been called one of the America's leading design coaches, which is a wonderful title to have, and it means a lot to me because it also means that I'm helping thousands of women across the United States and beyond, and men too. In fact, we have students across the US, and we also have students in, here we go, England, Canada, India, Taiwan, and the Philippines, and counting. So there it is. Yes, getting hearts on that one. I love being able to help you, whether it's growing your design business as a designer, whether it's launching your design business as a designer, whether it's helping to empower you to design your own home because you don't want to hire a designer. So what are we talking about this week? Kitchen design is a really scary thing for a lot of people who are doing kitchen reno. It's one of the most expensive renovations and redesigns you can do in your home. And it is something you don't do every day. So you may not feel so well schooled in the whole thing. And it's not only costly, but it's one of the most interruptive to your life. It is not a pleasant renovation to live through. I'm warning you about that right off the bat. So I wanted to talk to you today about selecting the right materials for your kitchen. So a couple of things I'd love for you to think about. And by the way, I will take your questions on kitchen design, kitchen materials. When I'm done teaching, by all means, put your questions in as early as you can. I'll take your questions when I'm done teaching, as long as I don't need to see a picture to be able to answer you well, and as long as I don't need a calculator. I don't want to do any math. I've been doing math all day as a designer. Yes, it gets very technical, making sure things fit properly. So there it is. All right, so today we're talking about how to select the right materials for your kitchen. 5 tips that I want you to have on your brain. And this is a little crooked. This is going to drive me crazy. I'm going to have a little OCD on this. Yeah, a little less crooked now. That's better. All right. Thank you, Facebook, for hanging in there while I straighten out my Insta shot. So the first thing I'd like to encourage you not to do, which is the first thing that your builder or your kitchen group is going to encourage you to do when it comes to selecting your materials, they're going to want you to just pick your cabinet color like that. Boom, pick it. Now, do not pick your cabinet color first, but let's define our terms. If you spent any time with me, you know that there's a difference between selecting something versus identifying a concept. A concept is sort of like a range that you want to hit between here and here, right? That's concept, as opposed to anything is fair game. That's I have no concept. Concept is a range between here and here, but your actual decision is going to be somewhere in that range, right? So I'll do it this way. If this is the range of choice that you could have, you know you're going to be somewhere in there. You're not going to be out here or out here in that choice. So having a developed concept is great. You know, I want perimeter cabinetry in blue, and I want my island to be something in a white. I'm making all this up. Or I want a black and white kitchen, and I want, you know, all white cabinetry everywhere. But don't identify the exact white. Don't identify the exact color X or gray or whatever you think you're going to do, or stain if you're doing a stain cabinetry. Go for concept first, and do not select that cabinet color until you have either gotten clarity on your countertops or on your tile. Frankly, tip number 2, I would select your tile first. I would. There is so much tile to choose from, but within the realm of white tiles or tan tiles or gray tiles, there are so many undertones that you're going to be wrestling with. Get a tile that you love to bits, and then back in your other elements, back in your countertop, back in your cabinet color. I was at the Cambria showroom today in the Philadelphia region with a client looking for her kitchen. And we are going to be doing split finishes where we have one finish on her island and another on her perimeter cabinetry. and there was a Cambria slab that she fell in love with, but had a lot to say. It was a very intensely patterned, beautiful slab. So it was a question of then identifying other slab to be in the perimeter that wouldn't argue with it. So we know from a concept perspective, she does want perimeter cabinetry in a white. But I had 3 different white samples with me, and guess what? We're probably going to custom color her white cabinet anyway, because based upon the countertops we were finding today, in all likelihood, we're going to have to custom that white color. Now that we have defined her range of countertop, then I'm going to take her into tile. So Donna, didn't you just say we should go to tile first? I think if you're working on your own, that would be the easier way to go. Remember, as a professional designer, I can think 10 steps ahead of my clients. So I kind of already know where she's going to be going, where we're going to be going on her counters and on her tile and on her lighting. I really have a concept pretty developed already in my brain. So for you, I don't want you to keep your concept in your brain. I want you to write it out, and I want you to have a concept first for the color range on your cabinets, perimeter, and if there's an island, that as well. And if there's a butler pantry, include that in your thinking. And then I want you to decide, do I need to look at countertops or do I need to look at tile? So the third tip is I want you to think about your design fingerprint. Your design fingerprint is how you tick and design. It's what lives underneath your design style. It is how you relate to line, form, shape, color, texture, pattern. It's your DNA in design. And I'll talk more about this in a little bit. But I have seen time and time again that when my students understand their design fingerprint and they're doing their own kitchen design, amazing things happen. All the wrong choices fall away. All the right choices are apparent. They know who they are in tile. They know who they are in countertops. And again, I'll talk a little bit more about the design fingerprint in a little bit. But knowing who you are in design is incredibly powerful. And if you're a professional designer, knowing your client's design fingerprint allows you to think like your client. Knowing your client's design fingerprint is what allows clients to say to you, as they do to me, oh my gosh, how did you do that? You got us both in this design. We used to walk into a showroom, a tile showroom, and just, argue. And now, Donna, with you, we saw exactly where you were going, and it made sense to both of us, and we both loved it. You got both of us in the design. So the design fingerprint is super powerful as a technique, whether you're a professional and you're using it on other people, or whether you're doing it on yourself. We'll talk about that a little bit in a bit. We talked about so far then, just to give you the wrap up or the summary, you got to do concept first for your cabinet color. Then you're going to, in all likelihood, go into your tile design before you do your counters. But if you know you want a super quiet tile, you might want to do your countertop first and back your tile in from your countertop. Definitely want to know what your design fingerprint is. And then I definitely want you to sign out your samples. I don't know where my samples are, but I signed out several samples from the Cambria showroom today. And they're going to go with us when we go tile shopping. And they're going to be around when I do my window treatments and all the other fabrics that are going into that, and furnishings that are going into that space as well. Sometimes they will require that you leave a credit card if you're not in the trade. Sometimes they'll just let you sign it out as a trade member. But try to sign out your samples so they can travel with you when you're going places. A sample of your cabinet, a sample of your tile, and so forth. You may even have to buy the tile for a sample, but if you're pretty solid that you think this is the sample, this is what we're going to be picking, you just buy it knowing it's going to be installed, so it's not like a throwaway. And then the last tip that I have for you when you're doing kitchens, because kitchen design is more stringent, it is more intimidating, it is more complicated, get smart about it. Get smarter tomorrow than you are today. Either hire somebody to do the design for you, or if you're doing it on your own, get educated. If you would like to learn more about how to design any room out there, including kitchens, including how to find your design fingerprint, I encourage you to check out my amazing online course, Decorating Genius, 7 Simple Steps to Great Rooms. It really is a soup to nuts, literally 7 simple steps to great rooms. And I show you how to use that system of design, this path in design, if you're doing a kitchen as well. Plus you've got a private Facebook group that goes along with it so the whole community can weigh in on what you're doing. So I encourage you to get educated if you aren't already when it comes to design, especially if you're working on a kitchen in your home. So start with concept, Make sure you know your design fingerprint. Decide from there if you're going to jump into cabinet color concept, followed by either your tile backsplash or your countertop. I still think tile is going to be easier, but you may feel that you want to go into countertop first. And then once you have those elements, countertop and cabinet solidified, that's when you sign off on your final cabinet color. And then sign out your samples so they can travel with you. They're going to change in different lighting. Look at your samples in the direction in which you're going to be viewing them. You're going to look at tile this way, but unfortunately in the showrooms, all of your countertop materials will be shown in an up and down vertical, but you have to look at them horizontally, which is why smaller pieces are great. You can drop it and see what it's like on the horizontal. All right, so hopefully that helps you. Feel free to put in your questions if you haven't already. Let me tell you what we're working on next time, and I'm also going to tell you about a great contest. Next week, we're going to take care of the design clients out there. Those of you who are thinking of maybe hiring a designer, I'm going to be talking about the 3 most challenging things about being a design client. The 3 most challenging things about being a design client, so I can keep you really smart and savvy if that's the way you're going to be going in your project. There's no right and no wrong. If you don't want to do it yourself, you do want to hire someone, we're going to show you how to find that right person next week by talking about how you need to be, what you need to be careful of as a design client, the hardest things. Also, I want to let you know that there is a fun contest happening right now. If you want to win one of my online courses, you can do it. If you're one of my Design CPR students, Design CPR, Creating Perfect Rooms with Accessories, you can go for it. You can win another one of my courses. Just show off your design skill that you got using Design CPR by taking a picture of a bookcase or bookshelf that you styled, posting it on our Instagram, and then doing it with the hashtag Tita Bookcase Challenge. And you can learn more about this in our link in bio on Instagram. You need to be following us on Instagram at decorating.genius. In fact, if you're not following us there, you're missing a party. That's at decorating.genius to be able to follow us there. And you also need to be following us on YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, you'll find us as the Interior Design Advocate. But if you miss any one of our Facebook Lives, you can always find us on YouTube. And there it is. So, and the prize, if you win, you have until May 1st to get your picture in on Instagram. And the prize is you can pick any one of my online courses or a 6-month membership into our VIP lounge, our design lounge. So there it is. All right, there it is. So let me see what kind of questions are happening and how I can help you out there. So okay, here we go. I can't see any comments coming in on Instagram. Are we not live on Instagram?
Yeah, that's it.
I can't see one. My feed is not. Oh man, I love talking to you guys. I can't see the comments. Oh well. How are these readers? Am I reflecting too much? Not too bad. These are my newbies, my newbie readers. All right. So Michelle on Instagram is saying, I love the design fingerprint lesson. It's a game changer. People love it. I love using it as a designer. I love using it on my clients. It's a game changer. It lets people do things you never thought you would do. And when you know your design fingerprint, all the wrong options just fall away. It's incredible. So Michelle, I am so glad you like it. So Sandra is saying, is using the same stone on your countertop and backsplash a trend or a classic look? I think it's a terrific classic look. I don't think you have to alter your, I'm sorry, countertop and backsplash. I'm sorry. Read that wrong in my brain. Countertop and up onto backsplash. Is it a trend or a classic look? I think it is very trendy right now, but I think it's beautiful. And what is ever wrong by broadcasting stone everywhere? Stone on your fireplace, floor to ceiling, doing some book matching. Why not? I think it's beautiful, and I would do it if you're attracted to doing it, Sandra. I think especially depending upon your design fingerprint, if you need just a very clean continuity, I think that's a great way to do it. So I like it. I bless it. But is it trending heavily right now? It is. But I don't think that there is just one. I know that there's a terrific. I love Maria Killam's work. I think she's so talented in color. And if you listen to Maria, she thinks the only kitchen you should ever do is a white kitchen with a subway tile backsplash. A lot of our clients don't want that. They don't want another white kitchen without something different in it, or they don't even want a white kitchen. or they definitely don't want subway tile, or if they have subway tile, they want something different. So I think it's hard to decide that say that there is just one thing, Sandra, that you should be doing in your kitchens, that you should, definitely run your countertop up your, up your splash. You can, but I don't think you have to. I think as long as you keep the materiality really well aligned, as long as I think you're better off not putting a lot of color into your fixed elements if you are working on a budget. And when I say working on a budget, meaning you don't want to rip out your kitchen in 7 years. I think you throw your color into your soft furnishings, your softer finishes. I think that will help you outrun the trends, because the neutrals don't run off of a trend grid as quickly as color does. So just be aware of that. Did I answer you? I hope I answered you well. What are my go-to whites for kitchen cabinets? I should have brought my samples up here. It really depends, Sandra, on if I want a gray undertone, if I want a white like a really clean white. I don't tend to do real builder whites on my kitchen cabinets. And I guess we could actually do a Facebook Live about some go-to whites for kitchen cabinets. I mean, we get that question, so we can do that. Well, we should try to squeeze that in at some point. From Facebook. Sorry I can't talk to you guys on Facebook directly, seeing your cute comments. So I'm getting hellos from Shelly and Jane. I'm getting all the hellos from Katie. The part of Katie is being played by Katie. Yay! Yay, Katie. Okay, Sandy in Kentucky is saying that she loves all my courses and my videos. I'm so glad. So from Tennis Fan 06. Tennis Fan 06. This sounds like somebody I know from high school. Carla, is that you? She's saying, is quartzite a good option for counters? It's great for indoor, like the Cambria products. Here's what quartzite is. So you take quartz, you crush up the stone, and then you mix it with like a medium, a clear medium, and this way they can control what the pattern is. If you look at marble or granite, it's this dispersed random pattern. With Cambria, they can really control how that pattern is laying in. So I think it's a good option for counters. It's very, very popular right now, for sure. It's great for people who don't like the look of granite or who want something other than that pebbled granite look. And we'll be honest with you, quartzite products, the Cambrias and the like, can be more expensive than like a level 5 or level 4 granite, which a lot of builders still put in as their material allowance. So if you think you're going to be wanting a Cambria type product, you definitely want to tell your builder that ahead of time, so that when they're putting together material allowances for you, you're getting accurate allowances, because nobody wants overages. The one place you can't use the quartzite products is outside. A lot of them, even Cambria, I was talking to somebody in the showroom about this today. They can be used in a pool house, they can be used in a beach house, they can be used someplace where it is temperature controlled, but they're not UV ready. They're not UV fortified. How's that? All right, listen, guys, I have a conference call I have to get to, so 2 more questions, and then I got to scooch out of here. So Michelle is saying, oh no, busted. Michelle is saying, do I remember you from QVC years ago? Yes, you do. But I was on air with my maiden name, which no one could say or spell, Donna Harfinist. So Hoffman was such a relief, because everybody could say it, spell it, and understand it. But yes, 1,000 years ago, before our daughter Anna was born, I was a QVC show host. I thought I was going to go there and stay for exactly 1 year so I could, this is a crazy story. I had found a lump in my breast, and I was young. I was like 27. And I did not have a good history with cancer in my family. And I thought, shoot, I could really be in trouble. I didn't have good insurance at the time. So I had to borrow money from my parents and my brother Jeffrey to be able to pay the surgeon with one borrowing and the anesthesiologist with another. I wasn't even worried if I was sick. I was worried, how am I going to afford to be sick? I mean, stupidity at that time. So anyway, thank God, turned out to be fine. It was not a cancerous thing, but I had this debt to pay off, and I had an audition for QVC, and I said, oh, all right, let's try this. I was an actor at the time and had studied theater for many years, and I got the job, and they offered me money. I didn't think I'd ever make money ever in my life, and I thought I could pay off my debt my medical debt from my family very quickly if I took the job. So I thought I'd take the job for 1 year. I ended up staying for close to 5. But I met amazing people there. I could not believe the talent in the product owners, inventors, but I can't say I loved the work. I found the work kind of a little dull. But it's one of the reasons I'm so comfortable in front of a camera or with a microphone in front of me. 5 years of talking to, a camera about a spoon or whatever inanimate object I had to talk about. So yeah, that was me all those many years ago. So thanks for remembering, I guess. What are my thoughts? Patricia wants to know about gray cabinets. Patricia, I'd be careful. I think gray cabinets are beautiful. I think the color gray is an amazing color. It's an amazing neutral, like black, white, sand, cream. But gray had a very intense trend moment, and that trend is softening down. I would be careful about broadcasting a ton of gray in your cabinetry right now. I would. I would do it maybe in a powder room or in a bathroom, but if you're going to do it in a kitchen, do it on your island. Why do I say that? Because the least costly way to change your cabinet color is on your island. You can have a great cabinet refinishing group come in, spray the hell out of just that island. They wrap everything else really well. They protect your countertops, and you can go to a different splash color on your island. So if you're going to do a gray, I would do a very watered down, very, very pale, pale, pale gray, not one of the super darks. Okay, that's what I'm thinking right there. Unless you have deep pockets. We had a client 2 years ago. She wanted to do a tile, and it happens to be a bathroom story, but she wanted to do a tile in her bathroom. I said, you can. It's beautiful. It's trendy. I said, and I think this trend is getting ready to pop. And she said, you know what? I'm okay with that. Number one, I love it. Number two, when the trend pops, I'll just rip out this tile in my bathroom and I'll redo it. And we said, great, no problem. So I don't know, Patricia, what your budget is, what your stomach is for, redoing this, down the line. But I would get away from the super dark grays. Here are the colors that I think you're safe to still invest in kitchens. I think your whites are still safe. I think super darks, I still see black and off black happening as a stain or a painted. We are seeing stained cabinetry coming back in. We're seeing lighter stained cabinetry coming in combination with painted cabinetry. We're seeing splash colors. A lot of blue is happening, a really inky blue as well as a sweeter blue. In laundry rooms, we're seeing like a robin's egg blue happening. Again, painted, not stained. We're seeing green coming in as like an emerald or a, not really a grass green, like somewhere between like an emerald and a Kelly green coming in as a splash color on a cabinet. So we're seeing that happening. Not the whole kitchen necessarily, but something on the island. Slab door, gotta get out of here. Slab doors are gaining momentum, but still that very, very simple shaker door, either with a 2.5-inch surround or a wider surround, still happening. We're starting to see a little bit of millwork coming into that, into the crevice of that door. But the raised panel doors, not really seeing those, not seeing those mid-tone cherries, stained cherries and that sort of thing. So that's your quickie on cabinet colors. I hope I helped you. Guys. All right, loves. So listen, next week, it's the 3 most challenging things about being a design client. You definitely want to tune in if you're thinking of hiring a designer. And if you've ever hired a designer and had a total dream story with her, join us. Or if you've hired a designer and had a nightmare story with her, join us. Share your story, because hopefully I'll be able to read my feed next week so I can, help educate everybody else around with that as well. So YouTube, if you missed any portion of this, you can find us on YouTube as the Interior Design Advocate. If you want to know what kind of mischief we're making at our design company, our luxury design company, that's at IDH Designs. That's at IDH Designs. We're working on some really large new home builds right now. One home is about 20,000 square feet. Another is about 12,000 square feet. So we've got some interesting projects to share with you. And then if you're not following us on our teaching brand, that's at decorating.genius. That's at decorating.genius. So check out my online course, Decorating Genius, 7 Simple Steps to Great Rooms, if you really want to become more savvy on your own. And if you would like to hire a designer, join us next week, because we're talking about something that will be very relevant to you as a design client. Okay, lovelies, I have loved being here with you. You look great. I love your questions, love that brilliant brain of yours, and I will see you next Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern. See ya. Hi, this is Donna. Thanks so much for watching. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and comment below so I know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe to the Interior Design Advocates channel so you don't miss any of our great content.